channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I fill in my eyebrows step by step and what products I use to do so. The first product I'm going to be going in with is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade. I'll be using the shade Chocolate. I absolutely love this product. I've been using it for years. It's very long lasting. It's waterproof. Another reason I love it is because I've had this particular jar for about 5 months and I still have a good chunk of it left. It does retail for $18, but in my opinion, it is well worth the money. To apply that, I'm going to also be using from Anastasia the number 7 eyebrow brush. I love this brush because it's super thin, so it allows me to be very precise on my placement with this product. So I'm going to be taking some of the pomade and placing it on the back of my hand and kind of warming it up before I apply it to my face. You can also use the cap of the pomade bottle if you don't want to put it on your hand, because it can be very hard to take off afterwards, but I prefer my hand. Now the first thing I'm going to do is brush my hairs upwards with the spoolie end of the brush. And then I'm going to go in and carefully map out the line of the bottom of my eyebrow. And I'm going to show you a great trick if you are unsure where your brow should start or end, or you have very thin brows and you're not sure where your brows are supposed to be. You can take your brush and line it along the bridge of your nose upward, and then you can even mark it out. That is where your brow should start. Then to find out where the arc is, you're going to take the brush from the tip of your nose diagonally straight across the center of your eye, and that is where your arc should be, which you can also map that out as well by leaving a little mark there with the pomade. Then to find out where your brow should end, you're going to do the same thing from the tip of your nose to the end of your eye, and that is where your eyebrow should end. This is a great trick for beginners. If you are unsure on how to fill your brows and you're just starting out, try this out. It's kind of like a cheat sheet. It will kind of give you a guideline. But let me tell you, practice makes perfect. The more you practice, the easier it will become to fill your brows, and you will not need to do this anymore. For the sake of this video, I'm showing you how, but I haven't done this in so long, but it is a great tip. So now I'm going to go in with the product, and I'm going to start from that line that we created. I'm going to press the product upward into my brow hairs. And I'm just filling in any sparse areas. And I'm slowly building up the product. Now this part, if you're not careful and you put too much, it can get very, very dark. But I kind of know how I like my brows. Another thing is you have to know the kind of brow that you are comfortable with. If you want a very natural light brow, or if you want a more bold brow to match like a smoky eye or a dramatic look, you can go a little bit heavier. But I kind of like in between because I feel like that fits my face frame the best. So this part is kind of preference. I'm building it up to the intensity that I desire. But you can always go in with the spoolie end of the brush and lighten it if you ever feel like you put too much. So if you put too much, don't freak out and like take it all off. Just go in with the spoolie end of the brush and very light-handedly blend it out until the pigmentation lightens. So now I'm going in. I did mark out the beginning of my brow because I have very sparse hairs there. So I'm bringing the line a little bit further towards where I made that mark. So when I go in later and create like hair-like strokes, I know where to stop. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to blend that out. And I'm very light-handedly blending that out, because if you go a little too hard with this brush, you can just kind of blend off everything you've done. You don't want to do that because it's a waste of time and product. So you want to just very light-handedly do so. Now I'm going in with the brush and I'm pointing it downward. And I'm going to carefully create hair-like strokes in the front of my brow. And I'm just going to do some upwards, some to the left, some to the right. And I'm also layering it on to create dimension since I have no hairs in that particular area. You can do that trick with any part of your brow. If you have like certain parts that are more sparse, you can do that as well. And then I'm going to go in and blend that out very light-handedly as well. Now to finish off the brow, I am going on the top of my brow and brushing my hairs downward. Trying not to go too high, staying towards my brow, but kind of mapping out the areas that I know are more sparse and need to be filled. And I'm just following that out and mapping that out. Then I'm going to go in and kind of fill in the areas that are sparse with a little bit more of the product. Take your time with this part. Try not to go in for too much product because then you can put too much on your brow. I like to use whatever's left on the brush until there is absolutely nothing left on the brush. Then I go back in with a tiny bit more and then I can finish it off. So my brow is a little bit more sparse towards the tail end and towards the front part. So those are the areas that I place the most product. Where my brow is more full is kind of in the center, so I don't place a lot of product there. I blend that area out, and I try not to blend too hard on the areas that I know are more sparse because it will just take the product off. Now I'm going in with a flat concealer brush. This is from Sephora. I've had it for years, but you can go in with any flat concealer brush. Make sure it's very thin like this one so that you can be very precise. Now we're gonna go in and conceal our brows. This is a great step if you mess up and you bring your brow a little bit too low or a little bit too high. You can go in with any concealer. I'm using the LA Girl Pro Conceal, and I'm placing a little bit on the brush, a tiny bit. I'm just going to be concealing underneath my brow. I don't like to conceal on the top of my brow. I like to keep that part as natural as possible. I hate using the word natural because obviously it's not natural, but I like to keep it as not sculpted as possible on the top. But the bottom, I like to be very sculpted and very precise. This is great also if you did not pluck your brows and you want to cover up some brow hairs and you don't have time to pluck them, you could do this. And I'm just carefully sketching the concealer underneath my brow. I'm not using a ton of concealer. And I kind of just blend it out with that brush also, or with my finger. Now, for the last product that I'm going to be using is the Anastasia Brow Gel. And this one is clear. I love this stuff. It literally is hairspray for your brow hairs. If you have thin hairs, or very thin brows like me, you can create a fluffy brow using this by pushing all your hairs upward after you fill your brows. Or if you have full brows and you don't want to fill them and you just want them to kind of stay in place, you can use just clear brow gel and it's awesome. And they even have different shades too, but I prefer the clear. So now just to highlight, I'm going in with the same highlight I used for my face today, which is Oh Darling from MAC. I'm highlighting underneath my brow bone, which will help create a lifted appearance, and a little bit on top of my brow bone as well. And that's it for this tutorial today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Talk it to 'em.